he was sort of motivated by a fear of failure in some ways, whether it be disappointing his parents or the idea that if you didn't play well, Steinbrenner's going to get rid of you.
And that's funny about baseball because there is so much failure in baseball. And Derek Jeter knew at a young age, I'm going to fail. And in baseball, it's not necessarily how much you succeed, it's how you can deal with failure. And obviously, Derek learned a great lesson at a young age as a young player, and he used that as motivation throughout his career.
Right. He spoke a lot about his mom and dad there. So after the Yankees won their last championship, my job was to get an interview with Derek after the game. And I followed him off the field. He went into the clubhouse, which is filled with champagne. It's the biggest party you've ever seen, and he never stopped. He weaved his way through all of his teammates until he got to the other side of the clubhouse where there's that little lobby there. And he went out into the lobby and he hugged his mom and dad. Right. Because that's where it all started. Then he went back in and celebrated with his teammates. And that story, and I don't care how corny that sounds, to me, that tells you exactly who he is.
Some of the people we've seen walk out, Gary Denbo, who in that conversation, we saw a 6-minute version, it was a lot longer. He identified Denbo as maybe the most important guy early in his career. This is Gene Stickmichael, who was the GM who helped draft Jeter in '92. The first man was the scout that discovered him, and there was this debate whether he was going to go play at Michigan or be a Yankee. And it was Dick Gross who said, forget going to Michigan, he's going to Cooperstown to be a Hall of Famer.
You know, scouts have an eye for certain type of talent. And everyone will tell you, Derek Jeter was a skinny guy in high school. But he had something. And I think Yankee fans for the next 20 plus years saw that something all the time.
And of course, this is the wife of the late Don Zimmer, Jean Soot Zimmer. And the relationship between Derek and Don Zimmer, as much as Joe Torre and Derek had the father-son relationship, he was sort of the uncle, father, mentor in Derek's life.
Right, and Zim, of course, was a shortstop just like Derek from a different time. And Zim was one of the great all-time leaders around this club, and he and Derek had a very special relationship.
Some of the other coaches, Rob Thompson, the current Yankee bench coach, some of the trainers about to be announced. If scouts can see it, can players in the locker room see it as well, that that guy is a little different? Because you could make the case that he played on a team full of superstars. I don't know if he was always the best player, maybe never the best player, but there was something unique about him.
Yeah, you know, every time that you watched Derek, when I was playing against Derek as an opponent, we watched him because we knew there was something special about him. And his consistency amazed me. You know, here's a guy who, if you needed that big double with the bases loaded to clear the bases, he'd give it to you. If you needed him, you know, to lay down a bunt to get a guy over, he'd do that. He made every single play. He made all of the routine plays, that beautiful jump throw. We just watched him, you know, as opponents across the diamond all day long.
And many times I heard Joe Torre, who of course managed Derek Jeter, use Jeter in the same sentence as Bob Gibson. And that was the highest praise you could get with Joe Torre. He didn't throw anybody else's name in there with Bob Gibson, but he threw Jeter in there because they were from the same competitive aspect.
Well, and right away with Derek, he was the man right away from his rookie year on. So he always knew those eyes were on him. And because of that, that's why he did the right things all the time. He made sure he was doing the right things on and off the field.
Right. So now you see Joe Girardi, the manager of the Yankees. He was the manager in 2009. Joe Torre, the manager the other years. You said that he was the guy since he showed up in '96. So what made him the guy? His ability to deliver in the clutch moment, playing shortstop, like what made him the guy?
He was a winner. I mean, that's the most simple thing I can say. In a city like New York that values winning, the Yankees, the most winning franchise in sports history, Derek Jeter was a winner. And that's why I think the fans respect and love Derek as much as anybody, because when you look at him, you see a winner.
What an ovation Hideki Matsui gets here as he's introduced to this sold-out Yankee Stadium. And Hideki Matsui comes out. He, of course, was part of that championship team in 2009.
So I've been to a lot of these things. Hideki Matsui maybe gets the biggest ovation of the non-Jeters of anybody because of that huge Game 6 in the World Series in '09.
You know, it's amazing how Jeter got through all this without any controversy. But many years ago, George Steinbrenner challenged challenged him on a work ethic situation. I'm not even positive what it was, but I'll never forget asking Jeter, has anybody ever challenged your work ethic before? And he looked at me and he went, no. And that was like it. Like, he was furious. Look, you can take me on for not getting a hit or striking out 3 times, but don't ever challenge me on how much I care and how hard I try.
You know, Derek basically told us, you're lucky the boss isn't around anymore.
Right.
Because, we won so much. The Yankees won so much my first few years here. When we missed the playoffs a couple times, Derek would just kind of chuckle and say, man, you guys are so lucky the boss didn't here, because we'd all be gone.
What a night as we travel down memory lane with the likes of Paul O'Neill and now, of course, his great friend, Tino Martinez. And now with all these dignitaries having been announced, we're going to kick it up another notch. And for that, we go back to Michael Kay.
We have now reached the special part of our guest list, as all of our remaining guests have had their number retired by the New York Yankees. He was a mentor to Derek during his career as a Yankees special advisor. Let's welcome number 44, Mr. October, Reginald Martinez Jackson.
Well, they say the key to a good defensive team is strong defense up the middle. And his defense in center field teamed with Derek at short to make the Yankees very strong defensively and help them lead to 4 world championships. Burn, baby, burn, Bernie Williams.
He was there to guide Derek through the rigors of a baseball season when he made the team in 1996, and was someone that Derek could always count on for advice. Together, they won 4 world championships. Derek called him Mr. T, but you know him as number 6, Joe Torre.
One of the greatest lefty pitchers in Yankees history. He came up with Derek through the Yankee farm system, and together they won 5 world championships together. The Yankees' all-time strikeout leader, number 46, Andy Pettitte.
Derek had a great view from shortstop for almost all of his 652 saves, and watched as his friend closed out 4 of the 5 world championships they won together as part of the Core 4. Baseball's all-time saves leader, number 42, Mariano Rivera.
His fiery leadership and passion were quite a contrast from Derek's quiet leadership and hustle. But they worked great together, winning 5 championships. Such good friends, he was there to greet Derek when he crossed home plate after his 3,000th hit. And Derek was the best man at his wedding. Let's welcome number 20, Jorge Posada.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to direct your attention to the outfield wall and welcome again, joined by his family, now and forever, the captain, number 2, Derek Jeter.
Much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my
Well, now that we've met Derek's friends that came out to celebrate with him tonight, let's give his family a proper introduction. Please welcome Yankees outfielder Brett Gardner, who will present flowers to Derek's grandmother, Dorothy Connors.
Let's once again hear it for the last man to ever wear number 2 for the New York Yankees. Joined by his wife, Hannah, here he is, Derek Jeter.
Now, Derek, before we unveil your Monument Park plaque, we want you and everyone else to turn your attention to the video board in center field for a very special message from one Yankee captain to another.
Hey, Derek, congratulations on your day. Well-deserved, as we all know. And I want to thank you for myself, having a chance to watch you come into camp and become a great Yankee. I think on behalf of all the fans probably here today, for the way that you represented yourself, represented the Yankee organization, the way you played the game, the way you treated the fans, speaks volumes of who you are. Congratulations.
Oh, what a great message from Donnie Baseball. And that's one of the things I love about the Yankees. You have all these Yankee legends that show up tonight, and one is unable to make it. He still takes the time to send a congratulatory message. Well, that being said, Derek, it's time to have your family join you to unveil your plaque. It reads, Derek Sanderson Jeter, the captain, Mr. November, New York Yankees, 1995-2014. As the cornerstone of 5 World Championship teams, Jeter was a leader on the field and in the clubhouse, setting an example for his teammates with his uncompromising desire for team success. He retired with a franchise-best 3,465 hits, 6th on baseball's all-time list, having played more seasons, 20, and games, 2,747, than any other Yankee. A lifetime .310 hitter with a .377 on-base percentage, Jeter was the longest tenured captain in team history, holding the role from June 3rd, 2003 through the end of his career in 2014. Jeter garnered 14 All-Star nominations, 5 Gold Gloves, and 5 Silver Slugger awards. In 2000, the shortstop became the first player in Major League history to be named All-Star Game MVP and World Series MVP in the same season. A consistent winner, he compiled an incredible .593 regular season winning percentage, 1.628, 1,117 and 2 ties in games played, and he retired as base time's all-time postseason leader in games, 158, hits, 200, runs, 111, and doubles, 32. Dedicated by the New York Yankees, May 14th, 2017.
Well, Derek, at this time, the Yankees have a few gifts to help commemorate your special night. Here to present you with a frame-matted replica of your Monument Park plaque, please welcome Yankees general partner, Jessica Steinbrenner.
Next, Yankees managing general partner Hal Steinbrenner and his wife Christina will present you with a framed matted replica of your number 2 Monument Park plaque.
Now, please welcome Yankees general partner Jennifer Steinbrenner Swindle, who will present to you on behalf of the Steinbrenner family and the entire Yankees organization a one-of-a-kind career milestone ring. The ring is presented in a box engraved with Derek Jeter, New York Yankees, Monument Park, and today's date, May 14th, 2017. The ring is a 14-karat white gold ring. The ring top is outlined with diamonds and your number 2 in diamonds in the middle. On one shank is Jeter, the Yankees top hat logo, and the years of your career, 1995 to 2014. On the other shank is the Yankee Stadium Freeze, the Yankees interlocking NY, 5-time World Series champion, 14-time All-Star, 3,465 hits, and the word captain.
And lastly, as you can see, some of our special guests today are wearing a navy blue blazer with a patch on the front pocket. This weekend, the Yankees are excited to introduce and unveil the Monument Park Blazer. This special blazer is reserved only for those Yankee greats whose career in pinstripes was so remarkable that it earned them enshrinement into Monument Park in center field. Derek, now to present you with your Monument Park Blazer. Please welcome to the field your good friend, former teammate, and the man whose idea this was for this special recognition. Here he is, Carlos Beltran.
You guys can have see when he talks.
Over there?
Yeah.
You what?
You guys do it. Tell me when.
And now, for one final time, let's hear the immortal voice of the legendary Bob Shepard.
Number 2, Derek Jeter. Number 2.
First of all, I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, especially my mom, my grandmother, my sister, and my wife, who is very soon going to be a mother. So happy Mother's Day. I mean, what do you say on a day like this? You know, I'll start it with thank you to George Steinbrenner and the Steinbrenner family for giving me the opportunity to play my entire career for the only team I ever wanted to play for. I want to thank my managers, coaches, teammates, support staff, those of you that are here today, and those of you who aren't, for being with me along that entire journey. I want to thank my family for their love, support, honesty, and more importantly, their presence at everything I did, both on and off the field. And the fans, wow. I want to thank you guys for pushing me, for challenging me, for making me accountable, but more importantly, for embracing me since day one. You know, I was asked recently by someone, they said, if you could trade places with one person, who would it be? And I say this very humbly, but there isn't a person or player I would trade places with that's playing now or ever. And the reason why I say that It's because I got a chance to play for a first-class organization and in front of the greatest fans in the history of sports. And you know, you play here in New York for 20 years. You know, I learned that time flies, memories fade, but family is forever. And I'll be eternally grateful to be a part of the Yankee family. So I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you very much.
He certainly struck all the right chords on celebrating his mom and his wife, who is soon to be a mom, and his sister, recognizing the significance of playing for one organization. And he certainly didn't miss the opportunity to remind the fans how important they've been along the way.
Yeah, Derek's one of those guys that is truly appreciative of all the support he's gotten from the Steinbrenner family. He always makes a point to thank the Steinbrenner family and everything they've done for him. That's very special to me.
And the Yankees have had more practice of this than anyone. Nobody throws a better ceremony than the Yankees. And Derek Jeter was sensational in his comments today. Really impressive.
Is this what you mean by consistently good every time out?
Every time he speaks, every time he's in the public eye, he's always so good. I mean, it's unbelievable. This guy just is so comfortable out here with 50,000 fans screaming for him.
Yeah, on the biggest and most demanding stage in Major League Baseball, Jeter for 20 years continued to deliver on a high note, and he certainly delivered again here tonight. We'll continue as number 2 now is retired, meaning all the single digits in Yankee history have been retired. We'll be back.
The captain. El Capitan.
He was an out-and-out leader.
He wasn't in there screaming and hollering. He led by example.
But when there was something needed to be said, Derek would say it.
There are a few things with the New York Yankees that never change. That's pride, it's tradition, and most of all, we have the greatest fans in the world.
He was the glue, basically, that held this group together.
Didn't make excuses for anything. Took responsibility upon himself for wins and losses.
He's kind of like a perfect person.
There's no one else I can compare him to. He's the best player I ever managed.
I've loved what I've done. I love what I do. More importantly, I've loved doing it for you. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much.
Every time Jeter would come in, the children and fans would just go wild.
He was really like my first memory of the Yankees.
It's amazing how he has this ability to make these iconic plays.
One of the most unbelievable plays you will ever see by a shortstop.
I think every time he stepped up to the plate, it just became just another great memory for New York.
The clock had just struck 12:01. He hits the game-winning home run. Mr. November!
My mom and sister were asleep. I had to run around the house and not make any noise.
I was screaming, yes, yes. And then I was like, oh, wait, might be hurt.
They must have gave him a 5-minute standing ovation.
Couldn't be more perfect for Derek Jeter to hit a home run on his 3,000th hit.
Everyone was jumping up and down. There was beer on my ceiling.
History with an exclamation point!
Nothing better to watch Derek Jeter get a walk-off in his last hit.
It was like a storybook ending, and it was really just perfect.
Basically, the capper of what was an unbelievable career.
One of the players that came up big in big moments.
Like number 7 belongs to Mickey Mantle. Number 2 belongs to Derek Jeter.
No one else will ever have that number, and nobody else should.
Number 2 is New York.
At Yankee Stadium, as Jeter and members of his family unveil a number that will never be worn again by a member of the Yankees. Accompanied by his wife Hannah, Jeter makes his way onto the field, joined by more family and teammates and old friends as his plaque is unveiled that will reside in Monument Park here at Yankee Stadium.